everybody, and welcome to Comics Illustrated, episode 10. Can you believe it? We've lasted 10 whole episodes, and this, my friends, is going to be a good one. So buckle up as we take a look at Invincible Number One, hot on the heels of the Amazon Prime animated series that was just released a few days ago. Thought we'd, hop on the bandwagon that I hopped on, 15, 16 years ago when I bought the first issue of this comic when it came out. And we'll dive into it and take a look at the first issue and see what it's all about. And the animated series I have not seen yet. I haven't watched any episodes of it, but I've heard that it's great. So I'm gonna check it out as soon as I can. And here's Invincible Number One. This is the first issue. Purchased when the series came out. I think it was 2005. Maybe earlier than that. 2003, 4. I don't know. But yeah, this is it. And as you can see, you can kind of see my reflection in the Mylar snug that I have this comic protected in, because it is worth a couple $100, and the value probably will go up because of the animated series. I know when Walking Dead, which is another Image comic by the same creator, Robert Kirkman, the writer, when the TV show came out, the prices of those books skyrocketed, and this one is probably, the same thing is going to happen. It might not be as big of a scale as Walking Dead. That was a phenomenon, but the animated series so far is very popular, and it's getting great reviews. So this book is highly sought after and collectible right now. So I'm not going to get my grubby little fingers all over this copy. So what I have, for the purposes of our review here, is the recent, as in I think last year, Free Comic Book Day reprint of Invincible Number One, coming soon to Prime Video, as you can see. And it's the same comic, has a different cover. Now, when I put these side by side, kind of like the original better. Same artist, Cory Walker. This one, I think it has a little more of like an animation cell kind of feel, but I like this one a lot better. I don't know. This one, I don't know. It does look more like the animated series. I think that's what he was going for. But yeah, this is much better. Sorry, Cory. Cory Walker is the series artist. Look, you can really see my face in the Mylar. Hello. Okay. Sorry about that. Cory Walker is the artist. Robert Kirkman, the writer, and Bill Crabtree, the colorist. I'm just reading the credits off of the books here. And we'll put this one aside, because we're going to take a look at this one. Make sure to be safe with that. Okay, and let's crack this baby open. Yeah, so, as you can see, like I said, Robert Kirkman, writer and letterer. He did the lettering too. Cool. Cory Walker, penciler and inker. Bill Crabtree, colorist. Cover by Cory Walker and Nathan Fairbairn. That's this cover, I'm assuming. Yeah, Nathan Fairbairn colored it. And so this came out at a time when, the Image boom was pretty much over, and Image comics had moved into more of a I'd say they published a varied amount of books as far as subject matter went. It started out as mostly a superhero publisher. Um, I mean, I don't need to explain Image Comics. Pretty much anyone watching this video is going to know uh, the history of Image, started by a bunch of upstart comic book artists that left Marvel Comics to form their own companies and do their own books, blah, blah, blah. Everyone knows the story of Image. But Image, in the early 2000s, became something a little different. They were taking submissions from different creators and publishing they still do to this day. They publish a wide variety of comics, from superhero to fantasy, science fiction, horror, crime. There's no limit to what they publish. So this was kind of cool because at the time they weren't really doing a lot of new superhero comics. And first and foremost, superhero comics are my favorite genre, being that I am a fan of American, Western comic books. Well, not Western, but Western as far as. I mean, I like some Westerns, but I meant Western in the sense of the world, And it was cool that Image came out with a new superhero comic because they hadn't really done that in a while. The Savage Dragon was still going, and they had some other superhero stuff, obviously. But this felt like something, the start of like a new universe, a new world created by Robert Kirkman, and it was. And we start off with a really cool, powerful splash page, and it's Invincible. Nice foreshortening on the fist. He's coming at you. And he's got a guy with a bomb. It looks like he's a cyborg with he's got a timer ticking, so that just shows that he's gonna explode. So yeah, well, now that I've got you all to myself, chucks him into the sky and he blows up and falls down into the snow. Storytelling is really good, very clear. I don't have to tell you what's going on because you can see what's going on just by looking at the art, and that's what I call good storytelling. If I keep this up, I'm going to give myself a heart attack. So he flies away, and we immediately cut to 4 months ago. So here is our title character, Invincible. Mark, that's his name. And he's on the shitter, and his mom's knocking on the door. We've all been there. So here's, this is just some setting up the story. Basically, Mark Grayson is invincible. He, at this point, I don't think he knows, he doesn't know he has powers yet, but he's the son of a Superman, superhero type guy called Omni-Man, basically like a Superman archetype, an alien that came to Earth and is a superhero. Spoiler alert, but it's an old comic, so I'm not going to try to spoil too much of it, but if you haven't read it yet, you should get out there and get a copy and check it out, because I'd advise just buying. Like, there's so many. I think there's, I don't know, I bought every issue. I think there was about 150 issues when it ended. I can't remember the exact number, maybe less than that. But there wasn't, it was a long run. It lasted about 15 years maybe. And I would advise just going out and buying like the first omnibus and check it out if you haven't already read this comic, because it is that good that you're going to want to read a bunch of them. You're not just going to be satisfied with one issue. the first issue will make you want to keep reading. So he's works at a burger mart. That's where he works. He's taking the garbage out and he chucks it into the sky. And he's finally realized it's about time that his powers are kicking in. So he has a talk with his mom and dad about how he's getting his powers and stuff. Love Cory Walker's art. I should probably talk more about the art instead of just reading the comic. And one thing about his style, he's got a really unique style. Very minimalistic. Every line has a purpose. I like that kind of art. Even though I don't always do it myself, sometimes I tend to throw in too many lines to try and detail out stuff. But that's just kind of where I'm at right now with my own personal style. But I do really appreciate this kind of stuff. It's very minimalistic, relies a lot on the color, and that's, it's definitely a cool approach, and I really like this style. So yeah, he's realizing he can fly, so he jumps off the roof and he's levitating. That's levitation, and now he flies up. Okay, so we cut to what I'm assuming is like the next day. So there's some guys robbing a bank. One of them's got super powers. He's kind of like a rock dude, and they're trying to get away. They're robbing a bank, and a masked crusader shows up to stop them, to save the day. And this guy's like, "Who the hell are you? Are you trying to stop us or rob us?" Because his costume kind of looks like a it's not very heroic looking, to say the least. And that's when Omni-Man, here he is, by the way, his dad, he says, "Hey, we got to get you a better costume, man. This thing is not working." So he did stop the bad guys, though, so he did his job as a superhero. All right, so he takes him to this guy. I can't remember his name right now because I haven't read this comic in a while, but he's the guy who makes the superhero costumes. So he's got him set up in this one at first, and I don't think he really likes it because fans of the comic will recognize this costume because it appears later. Spoiler alert, or Easter egg, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, he basically explains to him what he's looking for, and guys like he'll work something up for him. The old superhero. What's his name? Yeah, that's weird. Did he say? I just want to know for my own personal sanity. I'll have to go back and look. I don't know. Okay, so he's back at school, and we're gonna set up the classic, superhero, teenage superhero in school, the bully scenario. Obviously Spider-Man's done it a million times. Other comics have, but it's a fun little trope. Slams the bully into the locker and almost murders him because he has super strength. Don't mess with him again, man. What the heck is going on here? Lunch lady shows up. I don't know. She's just like hanging out in the hallway in an apron. Tell me what happened, Mr. Grayson. Okay, so yeah, the bully was picking on a kid, and he came to save him. And this is where the principal lectures him, and he says, "You're not invincible, you know." Light bulb. Invincible. Good superhero name. Solid. Alright, so we're at the nickel and dime savings and loan. We got another bank robbery. There's a lot of bank robberies going on in this town. This town needs a hero. There's bank robberies every frickin' day. Alright, nobody moves. Nobody gets hurt. We want your money, not your lives. Yeah, well, then why the guns? It's all here. He's got the box of money. It had better be, or we'll be back. Come on, boys. We're out of here. Okay, so they're out of here. They're robbing the place. They're leaving. They're going to punch an old lady as they run out. Move! I think he's just running by, but it looks like he's punching the old lady right in the fucking face. That's hilarious. All right, he runs out in front of the car, screeching its brakes. Steve. Huh? Okay. Ah! You guys looking for this? And he's got their what's the word I'm looking for? Escape vehicle. Drop it, freak, or we'll blow you away. I wouldn't try that. I'm invincible. Ha 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 ha. Is that the last page? Yes. So this was a free comic book day, and this is an exclusive first look at the animated series. So this is timely. This is why I did this video, because I'm a smart YouTube creator. I see, something out there in the popular culture, cultural zeitgeist, and I jump on it and make content, because that's what smart YouTubers do. I should be trashing it and calling it woke and a piece of shit, but I won't do that, because that is not my style. I am not here to talk about politics in order to get views. That's just not me. I'm here to promote and look at fun and entertaining material that I like. I'm not here to be an edgelord and tell you that stuff sucks, because that's what everyone does. And I want to be different, and I want to be positive. And Stephen Yoon, what's his name from The Walking Dead, Glenn, is the voice of Invincible. Very cool. Got some sketches, poses, the character designs, some stills from the show. Here's some more stuff. And it's out right now on Amazon Prime. I think I want to really watch it, and you guys should check it out too. And, Firepower. That's another. This is Robert Kirkman's current comic, which I will do a video on probably the first issue of that as well, to talk about the beautiful artwork of Chris Samney. Again, he has a very minimalistic style, a little more detailed out, he uses a lot of brush work, very Alex Toth influence, and that comic is awesome too. But this has been my look at Invincible number 1. Let's get the real one here. This is the real one. Now, if it wasn't worth like $200-300, I'd whip it out and we'd compare them side by side. But I'm pretty sure they're the same. It's the same coloring. Printing is about the same too, from what I remember. So it all came back to me when I was looking at that one. So there you go. Great comic. Highly recommend it. Love the art. And speaking of great comics, I'm making a comic. It might be great. I'm hoping it's going to be great. I'm at least hoping it's going to be good. It's called Kill Reaver, and it's on Indiegogo right now, in demand. You can still back it. Check it out. I have a link in the description of this video, and I'd appreciate it if you took a look at my comic book that I'm currently making, and that I'm going to go work on right now when I get out of here. So please, thumbs up the video, subscribe, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of Invincible, or if you've watched the animated series, let me know what you think of that as well. Also, I want to give a special shout out to my number 1 fan, Frank Salazar of the Salazar Art Nation. Also, co-host of the Tarako Creative Cast. He is always one of the first to comment on my videos. He's a great guy. And I just want to see if he watches these videos all the way to the end. So I'm going to give him a special shout out. So Frank, if you hear this, let me know. All right, guys, that's about it for this video. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye.
Kill Reaver. Only on Indiegogo.